Hi everybody and welcome to Island Packet. Leslie and I are here on a beautiful March day and we've got Tinsley and Rob with us here to introduce the Motor Sailor, which is about a 100-month project to get the Motor Sailor finished. And we're about 10 days away from launching the boat. So she hasn't been detailed yet. We don't have the cushions or the mattresses in it yet, but we want to give you a sneak preview because I think it's the coolest boat out there for under $1 million. And what we want to let you know is there's only one spot left, that has the discount available on it. So if you want to save some money, give me a call first because once we launch her and get her out there, there's going to be a lot of activity, at least Leslie and I think. We can build it as a trawler or we can build it as a Motor Sailor, either way.
This is a project that's really near and dear to our hearts. We've thought about it since the day we bought Island Packet.
Well, we had a Motor Sailor in San Diego. So, we're inclined and we like Motor Sailors anyway because we believe they provide the best of both worlds. And that's why I just mentioned earlier, it's a 100-month project. So you can see number one was built with the standard ivory and camel tan Island Packet colors. We obviously have a really nice hard rail, great bow pulpit, double rollers, nice anchor windlass, dual spring line cleats, nice walk around the deck. You can see the little blue courtesy lights that we have along the sides for both port and starboard for the walking around. The gate open up right here. The hard rail will open right here in the middle. And that's nice, especially for the other side, because it has the helm door right there. And the one thing I want to let you guys know is I want you to know that this boat has a horn, okay? And we've got Captain Larry up there to demonstrate. Larry, can you show us what the horn sounds like?
Retired Coast Guard.
There you go. Well, if that doesn't get their attention, I don't know what will, right? Take a look at the inside of the boat, starting on the swim step, working our way through the cockpit, and then down below, take a look at the engine room. This boat was obviously built as a Motor Sailor with the optional reacher. You can see there the reacher car on track, and then we have electric sheet winch for the reacher installed on both sides, obviously, and the boat will have an electric furler. So I'll show you in a little bit how you're going to sit or stand in the cockpit and bring out that reacher, which will really gives all of our boats great light wind performance, as our owners can testify. Okay, welcome again to Island Packet 44 Motor Sailor or Trawler. Leslie and I are extremely excited that the boat is about 9 days away from launching. It's taken us 100 months to get to this point, but we hope everybody loves it as much as we do. Someday we hope to have one ourselves so that we can go cruising. And as we mentioned, we gave up a Motor Sailor when we bought Island Packet, so this is our replacement. And honestly, it's far better than the boat we gave up. So we've got a nice large cockpit here. It's about probably 7-8 feet and then about 11 feet wide. The boat total is 13 foot in beam and 44 feet overall. We've got a very nice swim step on the transom. We've got great under cockpit storage. Now, this is going to be detailed out, it's going to be painted out, and then we're going to be put teak grating in here before the boat ships. So as you can see, the boat is a little dirty because it hasn't been detailed yet. But just look past the dirt and look at what we got going on here. We've got electric winches, we've got a side boarding door. So here, if you dock to starboard, which the helm is to starboard, you're able to easily come down the deck and step off to the dock. If you dock to port, you can step off on the aft into the swim step and step over to port. Very nice, high quality stainless steel aft door. This window, I'll demonstrate, it does roll down. And then of course the door opens.
It's a good thing.
Yep. Excuse me. Okay. All right. And then we have shore power. We have two 30-amp shore power connectors. And we also have the duplicates of these on the bow. So whether you're docked bow or stern, you have shore power very close to you. We've got just a freshwater wash down here, and then we've got our hot and cold shower off that we do on all the boats right here. Of course, we've got a great hard top. We are going to add a couple supports right here so that if you want to store your dinghy up on top, you have the ability to do so. And there, you could get it down with obviously the topping lift and the boom. It would be something that I would want to see you rehearse a little bit in calm waters before you try to do it. This current owner is going to do a kind of a Ross Kelly Olsen style davit on the transom, and so that's what they're going to do. This boat's shipping to Seattle in about a month, so she'll be here in St. Petersburg at the Harbridge Marina from about the middle of March to the middle of April. So if you want to see the boat in person, that's going to be your time frame. And obviously we'll be doing demo sales at that time. The owners are going to come and spend a couple weeks with us, so we can take you out sailing pretty much anytime between the middle of, well, the third week of March to about the middle of April. All right, let's take a look inside. Door locks itself open. As I mentioned, the window. So the window is purposely designed to be on the slower side so that people don't get hurt. And it has an automatic stop once it reaches the bottom and once it reaches the top. And of course, if you want it somewhere in the middle, you can just stop the mechanism. For the galley on the starboard side of the boat, we have a nice sink. We've got our usual Seagull freshwater tap. This is a filtered water tap, and we also do the cold side in the heads as well. And then you've got the typical Grohe faucet that we do on all the boats. This is a Corian sink. One of the choices you have, and obviously this is the color of Corian that these owners pick. You can pretty much do any color Corian that you want. This is designed to be the pantry for the galley. So we've got 2 levels here where you can put different size goods. And then this is designed to be the trash bin. Right now it's tool storage. And this is designed to be the recycle bin here, which obviously we don't have installed yet. These folks did the maple interior, and this is the little sponge drawer or whatever here that we just didn't want to waste any space. We're going to offer induction cooking only on this boat. We've got a Kenyan 2-burner induction stovetop with a 4-way smart oven below. 4-way would be a microwave, a convection oven, an air fryer, and a toaster oven. So you've got a lot of possibilities there. And that's a nice pot and pan drawer that I won't mess with right now. We've got a 3.5 cubic foot refrigerator or freezer. These drawers can both be freezers or both be refrigerators, depending on the type of cruising you're going to be doing. And of course, the bottom is obviously this very similar size, except for the little bit cut out here for the compressor. We obviously don't have the cushions on board yet. They'll be coming after the boat is detailed. But we do have a really nice Island Packet star table that will fold out and be full size, or not. It will drop to make a berth, so this pedestal will drop completely down to make a berth. A little bit of storage behind the cushions aft.
In here.
We've got a dusty nav station here for chart books and stuff like that. And then what I really think is really exceptionally cool about the boat and very unique is we have the main sheet, the main outhaul, the jib sheet, and the boom vine coming in through 4 small tight hose here that are diameter designed exactly for the line that's going through it to an electric Celdine winch. Okay, so, and then we have buttons for the electric furlers. So what you would do to raise or to extend the mainsail out is you would push the green button, you would wrap the outhaul around here, and then you push the green button for the electric furler, and the furler would unroll the sail as the outhaul is pulling the outhaul line out, or the winch is pulling the outhaul line out. This is designed to store all the lines in here. This is waterproof and does drain into the bilge. So we've taken into account that, you know, if you're obviously out in the rain and the lines get wet and they come in here, you know, you may need a little bit of a towel or something possibly, but you do have a place to stick wet lines and they're not just going to be all over the place. We've got some nice overhead here for electronics. These owners are going to do a 12-inch display here, obviously a VHF with a RAM mic down here, a 16-inch display right here. And then we've got our engine start and stop, our engine wireless controls. And then right here, we've decided that we're going to do the bow thruster here, the Yanmar control here. As I mentioned, this is the start and stop button, and then we're going to do the autopilot here. We've got lights here that actually turn off the courtesy lights outside, and then this will control the overhead lights here on the console to white, blue, or red. This owner chose the leather wrapped wheel. We can also do a wood style wheel if you want, or a chrome wheel. We do have the helm seat currently mounted, and this is one of the things that I absolutely love about the boat. We've got a Dutch style door. So what I envision as Leslie and I are cruising, she's sitting over in the corner of the settee reading her book, and I'm sitting up here in the settee with my arm out.
Yeah.
I got a nice breeze blowing through, right? And then if that's not enough breeze, we can just pop these on a vent mode, or we can open up all the way. So in this, obviously this is what you're gonna need to trim your mainsail, okay? Or we can put a camera on the hardtop if you want to do it remotely, right? So
Then another thing about this store that we love, I personally love, is that it's so much access if you're at dock, and you can just hand off things to each other, and you're right in the galley, so, you know.
and if I can figure out, the seat will swivel completely. So when you get to where you're going, you can swivel the seat around and be part of the, the entire group. It will obviously recline. The armrest will go up and down. This is a Stid helm seat, by the way. So, we, as an island packet, we try to seek out the very best that we can build or buy.
And this
is actually an ice maker. So they wanted an ice maker, and this is typically storage under here, or it can be designed for an ice maker, either way.
Tinsley, didn't you want to point out what was under there?
Yeah,
We have a Maybrew 17,000 BTU air with reverse cycle heat. And this is actually a variable speed unit, so it can run off of our inverter. And then these folks chose a Webasto hydronic heater, because as we mentioned, the boat is going to Seattle. So this is actually the antifreeze and the heater, one of the heater units right here. And the hydronic heater circulates hot water throughout the boat, and then it blows fans or air over the hot water. So it's not a dry heat. You don't get that dry mouth that you do in like a forced air heater. All right, and then as far as the air conditioning is concerned, we have it set here, but we have a fiberglass plenum that takes the air from there up this side, and then it splits out and goes both directions. So each one of these overhead units is air conditioning, and you can open them or close them, you can turn them, you can rotate them any way you want to provide air conditioning throughout the boat or the salon at any part you want. So Leslie's sitting over here, she needs a lot of air conditioning. So we would have all these turned on her and coming down on her right there, as well as the one that's above Rob's head. So we've got a really cool air conditioning system in this boat. Obviously, as always, all the lights dim. The valance lights dim. We're having, Dometic is coming out this week to design blinds, pull down blinds for the boat. We also have shades, exterior canvas covers for the windows as well. Nice handrail. As island packets, everywhere is a handrail.
Safety.
This is all the breaker panel here for anchor lights, steaming lights, running lights, foredeck lights, spreader lights, the horn, the wipers, electronics, autopilot. So everything that's, we split the breaker panel up. We have a DC breaker aft that I forgot to show you, and an AC breaker, but we also have the stuff that applies to the helm right here next to the helm, which I I really wanted. So that was a request of mine. Variable speed windshield washers, wipers, as well as washers. I'm not sure they're hooked up yet, but as we know, the horn's hooked up. One of my things was I didn't want people falling accidentally down the stairs. So we did make this little table here to provide a little bit additional place to put a chart or a book or cell phone, whatever. And it hopefully will keep people from, accidentally falling down the stairs. We could have put a door here, but it just really didn't work out with, we've got a handrail that's going to be installed right here. So the door idea didn't work out. So we came up with this, and I think this works well if you're afraid of that. Obviously, if it's a little kid on board, then, get you a net, right?
Or a game
Okay.
or something.
So while we're up in the salon, I want to show you the engine room. We've actually got two hatches here that are removable in the salon. They're both on hinges. This is the one that's accessible from here, and then the other one opens from inside the engine room. Obviously, they're on pneumatic pistons, and we've got a nice stairway to go down. This boat has Marilon through hulls, dripless shaft seal, underwater generator exhaust, so you won't hear any of the generator exhaust coming out the side like you would on mini boats. It actually comes out under the boat, and the only thing that comes out above the waterline is a little bit of air. We have a 110 horsepower Yanmar diesel, 6 kW Northern Lights generator.
Can we go down?
Yeah.
All right, let me stop.
All right, so coming on down the stairs is one way to get in the engine room. The other way actually is underneath the stairs that go down to the staterooms, and I'll show you that here shortly. So starting at the forward and working our way aft, we've got our fuel filter system. We've got dual rake cores for the engine with a vacuum gauge, and then we've got our generator rake core as well, or lugger filter, and then we've got our oil change system as well. So, or actually not oil change system, I'm sorry. This is the fuel priming system here, and we can also polish the fuel with this
that was my
as
question.
well.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so depending on how you manipulate the valves, and we're obviously going to label all this stuff, it happens at the very end after the boat is detailed, because you don't want to put labels over dust and dirt. So all these will be labeled so that you can draw from whatever tank you want. We have an auxiliary tank on this boat. The boat's standard with 180 gallons, and then they chose to add an additional 50-gallon tank here. So they have the extra fuel tank. We can also put an extra water tank here. The tank in front is the holding tank for the owner's stateroom, or the owner's head. Okay, so each toilet has its own holding tank. They're both 50 gallons each. So you've got actually 100 gallons of holding tank in the boat. Okay, and they're both independent. So if one macerator pump or one toilet breaks, you have a complete system to work with as well on either head. All right, obviously access to, stuff in the bilge area, and, access to through hulls. That looks like that's for the knot meter, would be my guess.
What's this one?
We've got a macerator pump there, and our overboard discharge here. So obviously these are all labeled at this point.
And over here too.
Yeah, well, this would direct it either overboard or to the holding tank or to the macerator. So for the overboard is like if you're going to pump out at a fuel dock.
Okay.
Okay, and then this would send it to the macerator, and then this pulls it from the holding tank.
And then what's this one right here?
Like that's one of the that's a
fuel.
That's a fuel tank. That's the standard fuel tank of 180 gallons.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know if you guys can tell, but Tinsley's a boater. There's not many women I show boats to that open up compartments in the engine room. It's fun to, because, honestly, women buy the boats. That's been my motto for 40 years.
And they buy real estate, too. I'm a real estate agent.
So, obviously, 110 horsepower Yanmar will push the boat along about 9 knots as a trawler or a motor sailor. Which is faster than hull speed, and the reason it can do that is our stern on the boat is relatively flat. It's not quite a semi-displacement hull, but it's not a displacement hull either, so it's kind of in between. We chose the Marlon through hulls, and we chose the ones that have the freshwater washdown, so we can literally, depending on which direction you turn the valve, so this way it would bring in like a hose and flush out the engine with fresh water, and this way it actually brings the raw water in from underneath the boat. So we have that on the all the air conditioners, on the generator, and the engine.
You got the Victron controller.
Yeah, we always do Victron. This is a 3,000 watt Victron Multi Plus, and then we have different chargers depending on what we're charging, whether we're charging lithium batteries or whether we're charging AGM batteries. Obviously, I believe these folks chose AGM. Right. We've got a couple AGM here, and then we've got back behind there, we have a whole other bank of AGM batteries. And we have this opening here in the Salon that will come out for changing the batteries. This is our oil change system here. And so this will change the oil for the generator or the engine. And then you pump it into a bucket with this right here, and then you can also reverse it and pull it back out of, say, the oil container to put the oil back in either the generator or the engine if you don't want to add it manually. We mentioned the dripless shaft lock, so it's the last drop. I've got them. Originally they put a starboard piece over here, and I have them coming back and making a clear acrylic piece to go through here, so you don't have to remove this to see what's going on with the shaft lock. So literally you can watch what's going on right in front of you. If I had waited about 9 or 10 days, the boat would be clean. But then Tinsley wouldn't be here, would she?
That's right.
Yeah. So we have a 6 kW Northern Lights generator, which would more than power everything on the boat and the boat next to you. We have the regular start-stop down here, and then of course we have a remote start-stop up at the helm.
I need one of those. Okay, what is this? Water heater?
We have a 12-gallon stainless steel Webasto adjustable temperature hot water heater. If anybody can find a better hot water heater on the market, let me know. Okay, so you can adjust the temperature. It's 12 gallons. It's extremely efficient. We have owners that we run into at the boat shows, for example, last year in Annapolis, that told me that literally he can get up and take a shower in the morning after the boat's sitting on anchor all night long and have plenty of hot water. Okay, from just the generator
And he's got the water maker.
these folks did get the 400 gallon a day Spectra water maker. This is the largest 12 volt water maker that Spectra makes.
I got a question. How much is that water maker?
That's about a $30,000 option. Yeah.
And so that's like the top of the line.
Spectra is, as far as we're
I mean,
concerned.
it's
And this is
model.
400 gallons a day. Okay, so you think about that, it's making about 21 gallons an hour. So you run it for a couple hours in the morning, and you run it for a couple hours in the evening, while you're cooking or you're running your generator. This is at 12 volt, but if it, and you're making, 40, 80 gallons a day, you don't need to get fresh water anywhere, and you don't, in many marinas and many fuel docks, I have a tendency to be worried about the water that I would pick up at them, because you just don't know how old the hoses are, how long the water has set, what could have possibly got in there. And honestly, if I have a choice, I will always use water maker water and never use a marina water or fuel dock water or anything like that if I have a choice.
So a water maker for a 349.
Well, we would go one size down.
board.
We would go one size down, and it'd probably be in the low to mid 20 range.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to get my 349 price sheet out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is this over here?
This is part of the water maker. So this is the compressor, and then these are the filters.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I'm not an expert at water makers. I've never personally had one. I haven't been fortunate enough to go cruising that long, at least not on my own boat.
If the world ended, you could exist on this boat. As long as you didn't run out of fuel. But if you did, you just sail.
Well, I hope so. I hope I sailed long before I ran out of fuel. Yeah. All right, and then we do have a small door that does gain us access into the cockpit that we looked at earlier.
Well, I didn't get a good shot of it.
All right, so we're out of the engine room and we're back in the salon, and we want to take Tinsley and you guys downstairs. So we designed the stairway to purposely be very user-friendly. It's about the same incline as you would have at your home. So it's easy for pets and animals, as well as for, people like myself. I'm turning 68 this month, and honestly, I don't need, a steep companionway. We're going to do a handrail right here. In fact, it's sitting right over there on the settee. One of the last minute items that we got to do. And then, as I mentioned also when we were in the engine room, these stairs do lift up.
Oh, I was wondering.
They're on pneumatic pistons, which are not installed yet, but they will lift all the way up so that you have the ability to walk through here, and we can lift them up when you guys are down here. But they are going to have pneumatic pistons. All of our doors have magnetic latches, so you don't have to reach down to unlock it or try to use your toe or something like that.
All right,
And then you guys come on down. So when you get down, we have to port, we have the guest quarters.
Wow. And I'm sure you'll address the customization options.
Yes, and so this is the standard layout of the boat. This is a custom built boat, and as Leslie just said, this aft cabin can be basically built any way you want. So if you don't plan on having guests on board, we can build this as an office, we can build this as a utility room, we can basically build this any way you want. We've got a small hanging locker in this arrangement, and then this was going to be a big hanging locker, but instead they opted for the Splendid washer vented dryer. It is a vented dryer, and it acts just like a regular home washer dryer, except in a smaller capacity. So as always, the lights come on when you open the hanging locker doors.
That's pretty cool.
Cedar lined.
Yeah, they're all cedar lined. And as we mentioned earlier, this is the maple interior. Yeah, their buttons are new, Tinsley, so we just put them on actually yesterday.
Wow.
So if you don't want those cabinets across the side, you don't need them. That's a hull side port in the middle, but we don't have the hull side port installed yet. That's one of the last things we do, so that's why it's covered up. But it really, if that was open, yeah, it would provide a lot of light in the boat. And if you wanted a larger hull side port, we could do a larger hull side port. So being a custom boat manufacturer, tell us what you want. We have one owner that wants a companionway helm seat, and I should have done this when we were in the salon, but I didn't think about it. Yeah. So we're going to actually shorten the table and put a companion helm seat there, so that she has a regular chair to sit in versus like a settee to kind of relax in. So I think she might, they have back issues or something like that, and she needs that support. So we can modify the salon different ways as well. So if you're not liking the standard layout, all you got to do is call us and say, look, can you build this? And we will work on it.
Is there anything that you have told somebody, no, I can't do that on any of the boats?
have to move the change the
Well,
exterior of the bulkhead.
I mean, it's tough to move some of the bulkheads. Yeah, you know, I could certainly eliminate
asked
this
you to
second
do
head. we have a drawing where we could do a down galley. If you don't want an up galley and you want more settee space up there, we can do a down galley, but we use this area plus a little bit of the aft cabin.
I see.
And you would actually enter the aft cabin from the galley. So we would take this away, and then this would be extended, and there would be a little bit of a galley through here. So the washer dryer, then if you want that, has to move someplace else or move aft. But again,
Nothing upsets you.
it really doesn't.
It's like Burger King.
You know, we offer, you know, cherry, we offer light maple, we offer sapelli, we offer any color countertop you want. We have multiple different sink options available for the galley as well as the head. This is what we call our frosted sink.
If you don't want the vessel.
There's a shower in here?
This is a wet head.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a wet head. We just didn't have the room. Now, if you wanted a shower, if that was important to you, could we do that? Yeah, but you're going to use up, you know, you got to give it up someplace. So this is a freshwater or raw water flush toilet. So you can, you know, when you're offshore, you can draw in the raw water. It all goes into the holding tank, and then you empty the holding tank from there, depending on where you are. So as I mentioned, this is a wet head. And then the ensuite door is right here. See if we can get all.
Oh, another.
All right. So
look at all these hatches.
Yeah, the door to the forward cabin is right here. So we have a nice owner stateroom. This is probably the largest head we build in any island packet. We've got, it's about, oh my gosh, it's probably 10 feet by 4 feet or so. Again, we've got good counter space. We've got storage underneath. We've got the same type of raw water, freshwater toilet. We've got a nice stall shower. And then Tinsley, I don't know if you ever noticed, but we sandblast this pattern into our shower doors of the waves and the star. So when we buy these, they're clear. Actually, we buy them in sheets. So we cut them to this size, and then we sandblast the pattern. And if you wanted to have your own pattern done, we've done that before. We had a guy who had a ranch in Texas, and he wanted his ranch logo on the shower doors instead of the star. So we put his ranch logo right here. So we've got a nice seat, you know, sit down. We've got obviously the adjustable shower head, little soap dish, you know, all nice and watertight. You know, you can brace yourself. Good ventilation. We've got 2 opening side ports. We've got a hatch that opens up above us. So we've got nice ventilation.
Beautiful. And what were you pointing out in here?
Get storage.
Okay.
Yeah, and then a little bit under the sink as well. And of course the sliding storage up here. And again, every light in here dims or can be turned off.
You got power right there. Okay. And you got power here.
Yeah. Well, and we've added this one inside the locker here, so if you don't want to leave, like if you're using an electric toothbrush or a water pick, you don't have to leave it out here, and you can put it inside here and charge it. So that was something that actually a client asked us to do, you know, years ago, and we've kept up on it. So if you're sitting here watching this video and you're thinking, well, you know, wonder if they would do this, or, you know, I would like the boat, but if it had that, I would like it even better. Tell us. Let us improve the boat. I mean, the way our boats have gotten so cool is we listen to owners, and every owner comes with really great ideas. So good size hanging locker, cedar lined.
Yeah.
You know, as always, the lights come on, louvered doors for ventilation, and we build all this in house. This is not, you know, something that you just buy off the shelf. So all this is built in house.
Sweet. And then there's another.
We've got 2 big hull side ports. These are actually bigger than the ones that were in the aft stateroom. Just to give you an idea.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so we've got a really good size hull side port on both sides, which will let in a lot of light. We've got 2 good ports plus a really big hatch, and of course, as always, we've got the blackouts and the screens on all of our overhead. Storage underneath the bunk, as always.
So what's under there?
So more storage, and then the drawers right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Door there. Oh, you got it.
Oops, sorry. It's supposed to have a pneumatic piston on it.
Okay.
You can see where it's going to have 2 in the button. It's just not installed. And
Okay. And then what we got there?
probably access to the bow thruster. Go ahead and check it out.
There's the bow
All right,
thruster.
so we've got the bow thruster, we got the bow thruster batteries.
2 more batteries.
And all this will get cleaned, it'll all get painted out. and it'll look, you know, like brand new.
There's a whole bunch of controllers and stuff down here.
Yeah, yeah. You know, probably controllers for the furlers for the deck. If you're looking at the boat and you say, you know, I'd like a bigger hanging locker and I don't need a shelf locker, then, you know, we can certainly do that. I mean, we could build it any way you want. You know, if you want shelves on here, if you want to take the head and put a door here and make a walk-in hanging locker, you know, for the ladies or the guys, you could do that. You can make the head a big walk-in hanging locker.
What are these controls over here? Is that heat?
Well, this is the Webasto heater. So we have a vent coming out in here somewhere. And then this is obviously just regular outlets. And then we do the USB C and nice. A controls as well. And this is actually a little temperature sensor for the Webasto. If you buy it as a trawler, this compression post will go away. And we do have a leather wrapped piece that's going to go on here, that's going to Velcro on here. So it'll be basically the same upholstery that's in the boat will cover this compression post up. This is the first deck step island packet ever. But we did that so we could build the boat as a trawler as well. So if you don't want the mast, you don't have to have the mast. And obviously, if we don't supply the mast and we don't supply the winches and all the sails, we can build it as a trawler for even less. So the way this boat sits right here, loaded out, as you saw, with water maker, generator, air conditioning, Webasto heater, she's in the low 9s. So a trawler would even be less than that.
How
would
much?
be under 9. You know, $50,000 to $60,000 less in equipment if we build it as a trawler. You know, we haven't built a trawler yet. You know, but if you want a trawler, I can give you a price. You know, this boat is a base price at $699. So they added, what, $225,000 with extras. So the base boat, you can go sailing, you can go motoring. What we call the options is basically the creature comforts and the electronics, and then the boat.
And solar.
Solar, the boat will have solar on the hardtop. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have walkable panels on the hardtop. Yeah, and then as I mentioned before, this is I can't open this with this door open, but this does open to provide access to the engine room. We got just a little bit of
Yeah, because down there it looked like a dead end, but okay, that's cool.
Yeah, we want to see, but you'd have to close the door and then stand against the door, and I won't
make you do it.
Okay, all right. So,
well, this is all impressive.
And you know what? If you came to us and said, you know what, I cruise with my grandkids, I want a door here, we'll figure out a way to make a door. We could probably make a sliding door that would slide into the the guest cabin, that would slide right out, but then we'd have to, you know, maybe move the panels slightly. But again, it's a custom boat, you know.
Or you could even do it like dividers, like fiddle, you know.
There's bring us your ideas. Yeah. You know, let us know what would make you happy, and we're here to build your dream boat. Every island packet owner we work with, we are very fortunate to be able to build their dream boat.
They usually have experience and know what they've missed on their last boat.
All different types, Tinsley. We have people that, you know, have chartered boats but never owned a boat, but have chartered every make out there, and, you know, they retire and they know they want an island packet because they know they want to go cruising, and they want to be safe, and they want good resale value. And all of them come with great ideas. And, you know, some people like the traditional island packet colors of ivory and camo tan, but honestly, the dove gray or graystone and the off-white is just as popular. We build about the same amount of boats with maple as we do with the sapelli, and now we're going to start offering cherry. So it's really about building your boat. We only build about 12 boats a year. They're all very unique. They're all custom. They're all pre-sewed. And as I mentioned in the very beginning, we've got one slot left for the motor sailors at the discounted price. So give us a call. We'd love to build your boat. And as always, Leslie and I say God bless to everybody, and you know, good luck and have fun cruising.